Hello and welcome from richmindhypnosis.com, the latest catalogs of cutting-edge hypnotherapy. This is Jesse Berg, this session's hypnotist. And with some of these more new sessions, the introduction here is shorter. I just recommend that you do listen to the pre-talk that was sent to you, or contact us at administrator@richmindhypnosis.com to get it emailed to you again. This will go over some general understanding and preparation, so we do not need to spend too much time here, other than to get prepared and excited to very shortly experience some relaxing changes. The only thing I will suggest now is that you do open your mind and at least on some level now accept there is a possibility of change and allow some cooperation to surface in an honest effort to do your part to get results and some great relaxation at the same time. The first step now is to be in a quiet, comfortable place where you will not be disturbed for some time. Lay back, get ready to listen, and shortly after the first few words, you will be asked to close your eyes and relax. So, realize these are not to be listened to while driving an automobile. They do induce an eyes closed state of hypnosis. So go ahead and prepare your area, get comfortable, and your session will begin in a few moments. Remember, each listening is unique, and you will be able to remain alert enough to keep from sleeping, yet maintain a nice, relaxed state of mind. Thank you. Now that you are in a quiet, comfortable position, let's begin, but please, do not close your eyes just yet, but first, let me remind you of the amazing experience you are about to enter, and how, as you do, you, on your own will, agree to relax so deeply. Follow along cooperatively and begin our partnership of my voice equaling your relaxation, the suggestions equaling your comfort, and the understanding that the essence of your continuing with this session will result in rapid response, yet harmonious shifts in your awareness and focus on my voice, and relax. Relaxation will be a major part in this session, but in a new way, showing you the connection between your mental intention and your body's response. And we are not closing the eyes just yet. Please, keep them open, because we are only going to close them when the mind is ready to relax into a deep trance feeling, deeper than you have felt before. Going even deeper, you can. Realize that since you are listening to this now, you may be surprised at certain sensations you notice. Now begin to warm your body and relax your mind, causing you to let go and relax more with each breath you take, because before going into hypnosis too quickly, we want to stop now. Listen and remember how much more enjoyable it is to drift slowly. Just like when you finally get tired at the end of the day, and slowly the thoughts begin to fade, and you gently float into a deep sleep, and that is why we move forward wanting to go into hypnosis at your own rate, at just the right speed, so not only your mind, but then your body will follow from the top of your head down, through and to the bottoms of your feet. And since we want to go into a trance, but not too quickly, you can allow yourself to prepare so that when you close your eyes, you will already be there. So, take a deep breath and exhale. And simply because I suggest it, you can choose to close your eyes now, since you want to get something great out of this session, and relax with your eyes. Can close now as you take another deep breath. And relax as we continue. Let us now consider, since it is so enjoyable for the dreaming part of the mind to take us on an adventure, as it does each night as we sleep, that it can also be the mind to assist you now in a deeply relaxing process to follow, and go throughout this entire session. So now, with your eyes closed and relaxing, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax twice as much as before. And we will do that again. Take a deep breath in and exhale, relaxing twice as much again. And go deeper as your breath continues to relax you, as you continue to listen intently and carefully to each word, and know that the assumption is that you only go through this session because you plan on going very deeply relaxed and staying there until we end and you feel satisfied. And now we will do something very fun. All you have to do is show yourself how powerful your imagination really is. So in a moment I will ask you, not yet, but in a moment, I will count to 3 and ask you that you open your eyes on the count of 3. Only you will not be able to, and let me explain why. You will be using your imagination that you can't open your eyes even when I ask. This is a doorway into greater relaxation. You will know you can lift your eyes if you wanted to, but you will instead use the power of your imagination to pretend you cannot open your eyes. And when I ask, you will lift your eyebrows, but find your eyelids will not open, even as I ask you to test, but they will not. This is simple, yet a great exercise to show you the power of your intention. So set your intention to use your imagination, just as a child would, who runs up to a parent and pretends they can't open their eyes, even as they try. And we will start. In a moment I will count from 1 to 3. And on the count of 3 I will ask you then to open your eyes. So 1, set your intention. 2, just as the child fooling a parent. And 3, try to open your eyes. Try, but you cannot. And stop testing and go deeper relaxed. Very good. And take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax twice as much from your head to your toes. And again, take a deep breath in. Exhale and relax twice as much as we continue. By continuing to this next relaxation, you will find that as long as you breathe and follow along, You will go much deeper relaxed by using your awareness, and you do have awareness, do you not? So, to now relax your mind into a certain peacefulness, we will. Imagine what it is like now to see the number 1 written on a chalkboard or a whiteboard, like you remember from school. See the number. Now, imagine the number 1 being erased from that board. And now it is gone. So we will continue with me beginning to count from 1 upward. And see each number as it is said written on the board. Only after just a few numbers, it will be hard to keep seeing and counting the numbers, because the marker or the chalk will run out and start to fade. So it will be more and more difficult to see the numbers until eventually all the rest of the numbers to come just relax right out of your mind, because they can no longer be seen on the board. So let's begin. And 1, see the number on the board, and erase it as with each number to come after it is said. Now slightly lighter, 2, 3, even more dim, and erased. 4, now harder to see as the marker runs out. 5, 6, almost gone. 7, and it can barely be seen. There now. Erased, trying to see the next, but it is gone. And now, let all the rest of them relax right out of your mind and breathe deep. As you focus again here on my voice now, letting all distractions around you fade into the distance. Let each breath only guide you more relaxed, along with each word. Deeper, and now we can relax your body as much as your mind. So since it is so relaxing to let the dreaming part of our mind do the work, let's imagine or pretend to see a large tree full of leaves. It is outside now, and see it blowing in the wind, so peaceful, almost as if it is showing you it is in harmony with nature. Notice the fresh air. And now, notice you can focus in on 1 leaf all the way at the top of the tree as a gust of wind blows by, and the leaf blows off the tree and starts a gentle journey downward. All the way from the top, you see the leaf sway slowly, back and forth gently, letting the wind carry it downward. So peaceful, as it just sits on the air, settling downward, back and forth, almost in slow motion. Watch. This leaf float, free of tension, and now free from the tree, gently continue, floating downward until finally, resting on the ground, now breathing easy, letting each breath carry you deeper. And it really is enjoyable to let the dreaming part of the mind guide you, yet still awake enough to listen, as we enter the rest of today's session. So we continue so continue. To relax more deeply as you feel the rhythm of your breathing. Take you deeper relaxed than you have ever been. Today, you can find this to be an enjoyable process now, and we are about to venture into a powerful method of creating an advantage in any area of life you desire. Again, aware of your breathing as you gently prepare and consider possibilities in life you never have before. Letting all sounds around you fade into the distance, and each and every thought, sensation, and sound only serve to guide you deeper, down more relaxed than you expected, and keeping your eyes closed until the end. And a frame is very simple. It is a belief. And thinking of it as a frame will prove valuable, as you will see when a person operates from a frame that they can learn anything. They have an advantage. Or imagine two people. One operates from a frame that life is a scary, intimidating place, and the other operates from a frame that life is their playground of learning. Can you imagine the difference in outcomes they will have? The significance of frames is powerful because, as most hypnotizing hypnotists will learn, it doesn't matter how good a technique is when trying to help someone if they are in a frame that is helpless. But when someone adopts and commits to a frame that is empowering, any technique will make a difference. And there are many frames, and a belief frame is around everything, and yet always inside of another frame. Just like the many frames you can have about this session. And it will be beneficial to have a powerful frame, like you can learn something you never have before, and in a new way than you ever imagined before. Therefore, getting a new result you never had before. Today, and since I can relax you so deeply, you can gain confidence with the ability this session has to gain credibility, for you to feel comfortable enough to let go and feel that as you become aware of your relaxed body. Willingness to experience something new and a certain soothing sensation you can. Continue to let go further as we continue and commit to a powerful frame to operate from in all of life. And to begin, you may find some interest in a story I heard from a very wise person who taught me a very powerful lesson when I was young. This person said to me he once had a neighbor who he watched come and go from his home. And one day, this neighbor would be dressed like an old man, even though he was young. And one day he was dressed like an athlete while he ran around the house. And another day this neighbor was dressed like a professor and carried a stack of books around. And the wise man telling me the story said he was becoming frustrated and annoyed at his neighbor, not understanding his obsessive, unusual behavior. And this wise person opened my eyes with what they then said to me about what he would eventually learn of his neighbor. But first, let's go to the first of 3 frame mastery levels. Imagine and pretend you are now standing on your own mental elevator designed to raise you through the mastery levels. It can move at your own speed and look how you want. And you can have as much space around you as you want, and feel the mental elevator begin to rise now as we head toward the first level of frame mastery. And now find yourself getting off at this first level to find a room that looks exactly as your mind wants, except the advantage of this room is that it is a brand new time. It is a time different than any other time or time to come. And what happened before doesn't need to be what happens now. And no time has to be like this time, because something brand new can happen whenever you are in a new time. And this being a different time than ever before, new understandings can be expected. The frame to master in this room is a people power frame, which is every communication with every person is an opportunity to experience something amazing with the other person. And this is a frame supported by certain communication secrets. And when you see that all communication is inside of a frame, you will know the secret. Just like a scary story is different if it is a campfire ghost story versus a real-life scary story. And you can always ask, how is this communication framed? Or how should this communication be framed? Just as a person successfully selling a home frames the communication about creating memories in a home and children playing in the yard or the car you will park in the garage. And when that frame is experienced, the details of the house are accepted, just as the frame is accepted. So how can you frame something for it to be accepted, experienced, and enjoyed? And another example is when someone says they just can't find the job that makes them happy, and you ask what hobbies they could have to get the same happiness, so they don't have to take care of that at work. And now they are in a new frame, and opened up creativity for finding happiness, and looking at their job differently. Or when a person is unfriendly to you because they think you said something unfriendly, and you ask, how do you think I meant what I said? And now the frame for this conversation is accurately about how one thing means something different to one person than another. And you may find I meant to actually say something nice for you. And it is easy to calm down and relax now, when the conversation is about how people take things differently. And how can you frame your communication? There are so many ways a person can ask another out on a date, or frame it like the following. There is a new, really funny movie out. Do you want to laugh with me this Friday night? The benefits of this framing mean you now know that each communication is just an opportunity to expand your frame communicating ability. And when a home buyer has experienced the frame of communication, imagining their car in the garage and barbecues in the yard, they accept the home as well. You can experience great states of mind with people at home, work, or play. And when someone tells you they are going to be late to meet you, what is your first feeling inside? What about when they continue by saying it is because they had to stop and buy you a gift? And how can a communication be framed or reframed? You have a right to be here as much as anyone else You can always feel peaceful and safe, your feelings. And opinions do matter just as much. You can say your piece because you are just as worthy, and you can accept the frame. Every communication with every person is an opportunity to experience something amazing with the other person. Be it a business deal, a friendly conversation, a deep rapport, or more. And in this frame, a person doesn't get insulted, but gets the opportunity to frame that experience for power. A person doesn't just get out of a relationship, but has funny memories as well. A person doesn't just disagree with someone, but also can find interest in what they do agree on. A person doesn't just get angry with another, but can decide to do something else instead, and exercise your ability to be mentally free. And now, you have completed the first mastery level of this advantage frame, so put it deep within your mind. You can relax and await the rise to the next level of mastery as you become aware again of yourself standing on your mental elevator, now rising up to the second level, and feel yourself rising as we wait briefly, aware of a relaxing feeling in your body, waiting for the next level. Now, get off at this second level in a new room, looking just how you see it. And the reality of this room is that you have not yet seen everything you are capable of. And you know this because you have had experiences where you become aware of a new ability you have, and this gives you great advantage. Because now you can find all kinds of new abilities without limit. And the frame we are committing to at this second level is one of world power, building on the previous people power frame, which is there is no such thing as failure, because there is only an action and then a reaction. You do something and then you get a result. And failure is an invented frame because we take old frames from the past and use them to judge how we are doing something now. But really there is no failure and therefore no way to not succeed, because you can know that what we thought was failure was simply the end of what we could previously do. And getting to the end of what we currently can do, which is the beginning of what we are about to do and learn. And we are meant to go to the end of what our current abilities can do, so we can grow. And now you know the secret of being beyond failure, because you are not really just at the end of your current abilities, but at the beginning of new abilities. And that takes some continued work. And now that you know that you never need step away from the false wall, but now realize with enough time and effort, you are meant to go through it and find victory on the other side. And no one ever told you before it wasn't really the end, but where a new frame is supposed to start. And the benefits of this level give you the ability to live, as the old saying goes, what if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do then? Realize you are more unlimited than you ever knew now. And You can accept that feeling of not knowing where to go next, because by not walking away from the next step you want to take, you will eventually see another door, and it may be totally different than you planned. And your potential is amazing, because you always have more choices. And because of this frame, there is no such thing as failure. You no longer lose, but watch someone else win for once. You no longer are stuck, but didn't see a new option until now. You no longer are kept down by the thought of not succeeding, because now you know getting to the wall of the new is an accomplishment by itself. You no longer had to give up on something, but had to take a different door through that looks different than you imagined. And you can remember to occasionally take your focus off the next wall of accomplishment, to look back at the ones you already passed through, and there is no failure. And now, you have completed the second level of frame mastery. And before we rise to the third and final level, just relax as we prepare, as you notice a certain sensation begin to spread around. You taking you deeper than you have ever been relaxed, breathing and resting, but listening to each word, which now takes you deeper down, safely sinking so much more. Relaxed as we continue, and now gently feel yourself rise as we begin up toward the final frame mastery level. As you stop this time and look around, notice this level is different because the room doesn't stop. There are more rooms one way and another way. There are more rooms. Just connecting to more rooms. And you see the reality of this level is that there is always another room to go to. And therefore you are not limited. And the third and final frame at this level is a very powerful frame. And it is frame expansion. There is always more choices. And the masters know that suffering can trace back to a lack of choice. But when you expand your frame, you are empowered with the ability we naturally have, which is frame expansion. So then we have reality expansion. No matter where you are or who you are with, you now know that you can be free from limited reality and options. It can be work, home, or play, with family or friends, yes. It is true you can be stuck in traffic while driving, but you are also sitting in amazing technology built to give you the advantage of rapid traveling. You are no longer only happy or not happy. You are also a living human being sustaining life energy. Just as it is wise to expand your frame as you look at a baby bear, to step back further and see the mama bear behind the baby. And yet, just as valuable is to step back further to see the cage protecting you from them. And it just depends. How much will you expand your frame of awareness? The benefits of graduation from this level of frame mastery of there is always more choices are fantastic, as you are always a moment away from a fresh new experience. and the ability to see more than you ever have. And you may not have accomplished that thing you want yet, but you also have the ability to think for yourself. You may not have responded to someone the way you wanted, but when would have that been a perfect response? When has not getting what you wanted actually been a blessing in disguise? When? You may not like something now. Are you sure you will feel exactly the same way about it later? You may want to be better at a certain talent, but according to who, and why would that matter? Plus, you can't forget about what you are great at and have the potential for. And you can catch yourself getting stuck in a small frame and expand it. Something is true, and yet something else is always true as well. That can empower you. You are no longer just disappointed with a canceled event, but also able to find something else to do. You are no longer just let down by a sour relationship, but also can remember something funny about it. You are no longer just working for money, but also able to find new and better ideas. You no longer just pay bills, but are also reminded of your responsibility. And you're not only tired, but can remember something that made you smile today as well. You are no longer just in a long meeting, but getting closer to it being over, too. You are no longer just talking with someone, but also able to frame your communication in a fun way to feel refreshed, energized, or thankful. And each moment offers something fresh to be aware of. And how often do you remember to become aware that you are safe, secure, and relaxed inside of a reality that offers unlimited experiences, all to your advantage? In what areas can you step back further to expand your frame of awareness? And you have now completed all 3 levels for the ultimate advantage frame. But we will continue up to one last surprise level. So feel yourself on your mental elevator rising. And come to one last level, the highest level of graduation for this advantage frame, where you now stand above all space and time, and see the planets below you as you look out from this point and feel the energy created from this advantage frame. You now stand in, and again feel a certain energy you have acquired from this frame expansion experience flow through you, starting at your head, energizing. As it flows down through your face into your chest, it swirls and goes down through your legs and out your feet. And now gently squeeze your right hand to a fist, only gently now as you listen to my words, and feel your right hand gently squeezing. This is your reminder to your body to feel this flow of energy anytime you gently squeeze your right hand to a fist, as a soft reminder anytime you want this feeling back. You can do this to feel this now, and notice the energy flowing through you, and release your right hand to a relaxed posture again. As you breathe deep and just relax. Now, as you go ahead and bring your awareness back to yourself now, listening to this now, out and away from the mental elevator. As your eyes are closed, you are where you are, right now, and enjoy this level of peacefulness here, listening to this now, except you will go through the world from now on with the ability to see the expanded frame and awareness, touch with new hands, and think from the advantage frame B. In this present moment now, breathing in and out, in and out, allowing yourself now to relax much deeper as we continue, remembering the parts of this advantage frame. Each communication with another person is an opportunity to experience something powerful with the other person. Like the person selling a home who knows how to frame it with memories. And there is no such thing as failure. And then there is no limit as you are aware of frame expansion. Just as a person doesn't just get stuck at the airport, but also is about to fly through the air in a chair. Depends on the frame. You are empowered, but always had this ability to choose your frame. And this has shown you again that each moment you have the ability to energetically shift your reality. And if you catch yourself forgetting, just remember again, and remember the story you heard earlier. I heard from a very wise person who taught me a very powerful lesson when I was young. This person said to me he once had a neighbor who he watched come and go from his home. And one day this neighbor would be dressed like an old man, even though he was young. And one day he was dressed like an athlete while he ran around the house. And another day this neighbor was dressed like a professor and carried a stack of books around. And the wise man, telling me the story, said he was becoming frustrated and annoyed at his neighbor not understanding his obsessive, unusual behavior. And this wise person opened my eyes with what they then said to me about what he would eventually learn of his neighbor. On another day, a mutual friend told this wise storyteller that the other neighbor was an actor, and he was rehearsing for his roles, and therefore a very dedicated entertainer. And this showed the wise person a very valuable lesson. The frame changes everything. In a moment, you will hear me count from 1 to 3, and on the count of 3 and not before, you will then open your eyes, but for now stay relaxed as we just begin. 1. Still very relaxed. Come a little more alert, knowing you can feel very empowered from this session here today, especially over the next couple days. 2. A little more alert, knowing on the next count you will then be fully aware, noticing after the session the information you experienced here today will come back to you a little at a time. And you can hold this wonderful feeling of relaxation for the rest of the day. And each time you listen to this session, you can go deeper relaxed than the time before. And 3. Eyes open. 3. Eyes open and feeling great, better in every way. Congratulations. You did great, and thank you for listening to Advantage Frame by richmindhypnosis.com. We wish you great success and enjoyment with your hypnosis sessions. Take care, and thanks again. One person can see the picture of life in a frame that displays the constant challenge for you, unfair situations to drain your energy. And yet another can see the same picture of life in a frame as a grand teacher constantly giving you the opportunity to strengthen yourself through small hurdles, making you powerful and wise along the way. Would you ever want to give this power back? Pass it along and you will be rewarded.